Hello, everybody. Welcome to day 6 of our 21-day journey together in this West Coast meditation program. My name is Miki. I'm coming to you from Columbia, Maryland. I'm a graduate student at Johns Hopkins University, and it is my sincere pleasure to be with you all today and MC this wonderful event. If you're new tonight and you want to get an idea of things that were done in previous sessions for the first 5 days of the 21-day program, there are recordings on the website that we will direct you to later, and we'll help you out with that. Or if you'd like to learn about the meditation program today through a website, we have website resources available as well, and a breakout room within the Zoom that you can use to ask questions to a Sahaja Yoga teacher who can help answer any questions that you might have. In the previous session on Monday, we kind of learned how the left and right channels work and how we can balance them to bring ourselves to our central channel, meaning to say bring ourselves to the present moment and into a state of peaceful awareness. Today, we'll be reviewing those things a little bit and trying to learn how to balance the left and right channels, but also we will be learning specific qualities of all the chakras and energy centers in our subtle system. And learning about these qualities will also help us go deeper into our meditation and reach a better state of peacefulness and bliss. And so we hope that you enjoy that. Today's program comes with 2 guided meditations, a video from our founder, Shri Mataji, talking about Sahaja Yoga in some light. There will be some live music, and the presenters will share their experiences. And at the end, we'll have a Q&A session where we'll try and answer your questions about the meditation session or Sahaja Yoga in general later on. The program is 1 hour long, and we are very happy to announce that later we will announce and detail more about a new mentor program where you are able to kind of link with a Sahaja Yoga teacher on an individual basis. So you can meet with them and they can help answer your questions or anything that you might want to ask regarding your meditation journey. And that will be brought up later in the program. So stick around for that. After the program, you're free to stay after if you want. There will be some music after the program that you can listen to and kind of go into meditation more and more. And again, Sahaja Yoga is always free because you can't pay for your happiness or your peace. And with that, I am very happy to bring in our presenters and musician for this evening. And so I'd like to first call on Wendy, if you would like to please say something about yourself and what you do outside of teaching Sahaja Yoga meditation.
There's something outside of Sahaja Yoga meditation. I'm obsessed. My name is Wendy. I'm from Los Angeles. I work as a realtor, but the thing I enjoy the most is helping survivors of trauma through this meditation to heal their trauma and enjoy their lives.
That's wonderful. Thank you so much. I'll now ask Sujata, one
Yes,
other
that's
presenter
correct.
of ours and musician as well. So if you'd like to please introduce yourself.
Well, we're having some audio issues there, which I'm sure we can um, get fixed before she performs her music. Okay, so
Can
let's just move on then.
Sure. Okay, sounds good. Okay, we'll meet Sujata again later in the program, and she'll tell us about herself and what she'll do later. So for now, I'll send it to you, Wendy, for the first meditation session, and please take it away.
And so you know, Sujata is our musician. She's a lovely singer. She comes from Sunnyvale, California, and we're thrilled to have her on the program. So it's so wonderful to be here when you're just starting to learn how to meditate, because it's so exciting. We have a subtle system within us that, because we are doing this meditation and because our Kundalini is awakened, we can actually feel, tangibly feel the chakras inside of us and on our hands, and we can feel the channels as well. Last week, we went over the channels, so I'm going to review those. We're going to bring a slide up on the show to show you this beautiful system within us. It's so beautifully made for us. And as you can see, there are 3 energy channels, and last week we learned how to balance them and clear them. On the left side, which is blue, there's the emotional side, and this is where our memories are as well. So we learn to have a real positive relationship with our memories and our feelings, which is very welcome, because once we become centered, we have the sparkly side of the left side that we experience. And on the right side channel, we have the channel of action, where we think and plan, and we're very futuristic. And the beautiful thing is that after we learn how to meditate, we have this really positive relationship with our thoughts. They don't control us, but we can think quite well and beautifully and creatively from the center. So we also learned how to bring ourselves into balance, which means we're in the central channel. The central channel is the channel of evolution. So this is where we grow. We get our spiritual journey, which is so amazing. So I'm going to go through just briefly what the qualities of the chakras are. The chakras are energy centers within our body and spine. They relate to the plexuses in our body, and they control various organs within us. So we want to keep our chakras really functioning well so that we don't get sick or off balance in any way. The first chakra, which supports the Kundalini, is very important. And it's the quality of that, the power of that chakra is innocence and wisdom. And it's not a naive kind of thing. It's not like, oh, I'm being naive. It's like I'm being true and pure to myself. The second chakra here in the lower part of the abdomen, this is the Swadhisthana chakra. And this chakra is to do with our creativity. And it gives you the most enlightened ability to think and create beautiful things of art. And you'll find that if you're a creative person, and even if you aren't, you're going to be blown away by what meditation does for you on this chakra. In the stomach area, we have the quality of peace. This is what we are all looking for. And if we become hectic, or if we become unable to settle down, usually we know that we need to settle down this third chakra so that we have the peace within us. And if you see around the third chakra, which is green, there's a light green area called the void. And the void is where we become masters of ourselves. This is where we master the this subtle system, the chakras and the channels within us. And it gives us a gravitas, it gives us a presence, and it gives us the ability to also help others, which is wonderful. So on the heart level, we all know we have this beautiful heart chakra. We have love in our heart, but here we have this compassion as well. And in the central channel, we have this bravery and this quality of courage that we all so want to be able to imbibe. And these chakras, they give us powers. They're real powers. And so you'll find them manifesting. Without even trying, you'll see that these qualities come to you. And in the sixth chakra here, no, on the fifth chakra here in the Vishuddhi chakra, we have our collectivity. This is where we have our connection. And we feel part of something whole and complete and beautiful. And also we feel our connections to other people, which is very important. And here in the sixth chakra, we have forgiveness, which is such a gift, because we only suffer if we don't forgive others, and also if we don't forgive ourselves. So here we learn to forgive everything, to forgive our thoughts, to forgive ourselves, and to forgive others. And here on the top of the head, we have the center of integration. And this is where all of these powers come together, and we become very powerful as human beings. And it's at this point, this is the stepping off point for finding that silence and that peace within us. And so we're going to go to the next slide. We've learned that on the hands, we can actually feel our chakras, and you don't need to memorize any of this because you'll have a handout available that explains it. But the main thing to know is we can actually feel our chakras on our hands, and it's a wonderful tool for us, especially at the beginning, to learn, well, what chakra is feeling good and which chakra might need a little TLC, a little bit of hands-on work. So now we're going to start our Footsoak here. So we have this bucket of water. If you're new, don't worry if you don't have your bucket. So you have a bucket of warm water, you put a handful of salt into it. You have a towel next to you, and you also have a little pitcher of water to wash your feet. So we're going to start, before we go into our Footsoak, we're going to do what we call raising the Kundalini and giving a bandhan. And if you haven't learned this, you can go into the breakout rooms afterwards and get a little bit more of an explanation. We raise up the hands. And we tie the energy up above the head. And we're going to do this 3 times. The second time, we're going to tie 2 knots. And the third time, we'll tie 3 knots. It's nice to tip our head back a little bit as we tie the knots of the Kundalini up. So now we're going to give ourselves a bandhan, and we're going to bring this cool energy within we're going to bring it as a protection around our chakras in a rainbow shape. So with our left hand down here on our lap, we pull the energy up over the chakras and back. And that's 1 time. We're going to do this 7 times. It can be helpful to keep your attention on your hand as you do it, your right hand as you do it. You may feel the cool vibrations. And now we're going to lean over our bucket, and we can just make a clockwise motion with our right hand, just to share some of these cool vibrations in the hand with the water. If this is your first time, it's really exciting when you start feeling all of this. And you can very easily catch up to where we're at. So now let's go ahead and put our feet in the water. So what we're doing when we meditate, and what we're learning to do, is to have a very relaxed attention, very relaxed concentration. We don't need to concentrate. We don't need to make anything happen. We need to actually relax. So we need to learn how to relax our bodies, to allow the stress to start calming down. So let's close our eyes. And we're going to bring our awareness inside. And that's not always so easy at the beginning. So one way we can help ourselves is to put the right hand on the center of our chest. And we can just allow our hand to guide our awareness inside. We're going to start by taking 3 cleansing breaths. It's a very nice thing to do at the beginning of your meditation at home. You just take a nice slow breath in, hold it deeply, hold it for a few seconds, and then release. And as you breathe out, just allow all the tension to be released. Allow your body to relax. So let's breathe in together and do 3 cleansing breaths. And as we do our breaths, we can just allow our shoulders to relax, our arms to relax. Anywhere where we're holding tension. So for a moment, we're just going to put our hand down and watch our breath, where the oxygen goes in and out of our lungs. Just allow it to relax us. And as we do this, we can step back a little bit, as if we're watching everything happening inside of us on a movie screen, and we're sitting in the chairs with a little distance. If there's a thought, we can let it go. If there's a feeling, we can watch it rise and fall. Just waiting for everything to settle down a little bit. Make sure our eyes are closed. It helps to bring the awareness in if our eyes are closed. Now we're going to take a little journey through our chakras. See how they feel. So we'll put our awareness at the base of our spine, the bottom of where we sit, really. And here, this is the quality, this is the chakra of innocence. So here we're going to just say quietly to ourselves, Mother Kundalini, please give me the innocence of a child. And when we say an affirmation, we can say it from our heart and use our desire power to manifest that quality within ourselves. Let's take the right hand now and put it at the hip level, the abdomen. This is where the power of creativity is within us. So now we can affirm and ask for this creativity. Mother Kundalini, please make me a creative person. Just say that quietly to ourselves. Now we can move the right hand to our stomach. And this is where peace resides within us. So we can just desire, oh, so much with our heart. Please, Mother Kundalini, give me peace. There is no doubt that we deserve peace. It's our birthright. And now we can move our hand up just a little bit to the upper part of our stomach. And this is where the void is. And this is where we become masters of ourselves. Such a beautiful journey. So let's desire that. Let's ask, Mother Kundalini, please make me my own master. And sometimes when you do this, you can actually feel everything relaxing inside. That's very nice. That's a good sign. Now let's move our right hand up to our heart. How does our heart feel? Does it feel light? So we can ask here, Mother Kundalini, please open my heart. May I be a very open-hearted person. And now we can raise our hand to our forehead and just allow our head to rest in the palm of our hand. And this is where we forgive. Without thinking of anything or anyone in particular, we just say, for Mother Kundalini, I forgive everything. Now we can just bring the hand up just a few inches to the top of the head. Just put the palm of the hand on the top of the head. And from your heart, whatever your heart wants to say, just ask for meditation and peace and integration. Mother Kundalini, please make me whole and please give me peace. And it's lovely because we can just raise the hand up 4 or 5 inches above the top of the head and put your awareness between the top of your head and your hand. This is the top energy center. This is where we can meditate from. We'll take the right hand down, put the left hand on the top of the head, and raise it up 4 or 5 inches. Sometimes you can feel a cool breeze on one hand or the other. Not so important, but sort of nice. Okay, so let's keep our awareness at the top of our head. Very gentle focus. Now we're going to open our eyes and rinse our feet. Get ourselves prepared for Shri Mataji's video. And you don't need to take the water away. You can just push it to the side and empty it later. So now we're going to have Shri Mataji's video, and the best way to really imbibe what she's trying to help us with is to keep our attention here above the top of the head while she speaks.
We cannot enjoy anything in life. Really, we cannot. You can see the way people are now going on for such sensational things. The reason is there's no joy. The sensitivity to joy is so reduced that I sometimes fear with all that they are doing, so fed up that they may have to put electrodes in their limbic area to get the joy instant. They have become so very insensitive to anything. They'll not love, they will not smile. They are so full of closed hearts and frightening things, whatever is said about human beings. Now, first thing you have to know, you don't have to suffer at all. Secondly, you don't have to judge yourself. Let your Kundalini rise and judge you. You don't start judging yourself and condemning yourself. And another fashion, which is very common, is to feel guilty. From the very beginning, you start, I am afraid. What are you afraid of? You have to have all the courage, all the blessings, and all the confidence. You are a human being. And this is the message I want to tell you, that you are a human being and you have to be the spirit. And once you are the spirit, you will be surprised. The blessings will be showering upon you. In these modern times, to talk about these things is out of date. But it is predicted that this will be said and this will be done. For us, it is important, first of all, to know our own glory, our own truths, and about how we are built and how others are built. Once you know that, first of all, the peace within is established. Unless and until there is peace within, what do you talk of this peace organization and peace Nobel Prize? I've seen the people who have got Nobel Prizes are the most hot-headed, so much that you have to talk to them with a barge pole in between. Anytime they are up to jump on you, you cannot challenge them. Even talking to them is a difficult situation. So how are they going to have this peace foundation when they are themselves so shaky? Then you have other things talking about the love, full of lust and greed. They love your purse, not you. When you talk of love, love is a thing that's detached. Like the sap in the tree rises, goes to all the leaves, all the trunk, all the flowers, all the fruits, and comes back. It's not attached. If it gets attached to one fruit, the tree will die and the fruit will die too. So this pure love or the divine love is detached. That's why it acts. It works. A person who is a realized soul is such a pure personality that even a glance of such a person can do lots of things. Even a thought of such a person in the attention can do so many things, bring about so many changes. So, this is the time of our transformation. We have to become a higher personality. The transformation has to take place. At the time of Easter, we give people eggs. Perhaps people do not know why do we give them eggs at the time of Easter. But about Christ is written in our scriptures that he was an egg to begin with. Of course, he was much more before that, but to begin with, he was the God of innocence. But then he came as an egg. And then he was divided into two halves. The one half which incarnated and which transformed is there. So the resurrection is the transformation. Like an egg, if we are bound by our conditioning and by our ego, we break through that shell and become a bird which is really a free bird. Only thing, the bird has to know how to fly. Now this is, again I am saying, is the living process of the living nature, of the living power of love. It is not something artificial. In Sahaja Yoga, I must have spoken in this hall, I don't know how many times before. And again, today there's a chance to speak to you. What I have to say that it is important, the becoming is not important. You cannot become a member of Sahaja Yoga. You cannot pay membership. You cannot pay for your realization. How can you pay? How much do we pay to the Mother Earth to sprout the seed? Does she understand? Because she has the power, she sprouts the seed. If you give her money or read something before her, it makes no difference. But once you get your realization, you start understanding how many powers you have. And the greatest power is of compassion and detached love. These 7 chakras are within us, which are to be enlightened by the awakening of the Kundalini, about which Dr. Spiro has already told you. Now, in this short time, I cannot cover up the whole subject. I must have given at least more than 1,000 lectures in English language. But I would request you one thing, that forget about what you have learned so far, about your conditionings. Because if you had achieved anything out of that, I was not necessary. Now, you have to see with a clean slate, as they say, what you can achieve in this lifetime, which is the most important thing is to be achieved. The highest of all, that you become sensitive to joy. Then you start seeing joy in everything. You don't have to think as, oh, this is the thing which is marvelous. No, it just happens. You see, it is. Just you enjoy without thinking about it. You become a peaceful personality. You become a dynamic personality. You are not swayed by the waves of things like some fashion coming up, then some sort of a nonsensical idea coming up, then some medicine coming up, and you treating yourself and getting into trouble. You just rise above all these things at a higher level, and you start seeing everything as a witness. You become the witness of all the jokes that are going on, and you just watch it, and you think, what's all this? It's just a play. Many people have said that, Mother, you always laugh so much and you have always smiling face, so the people are not going to take you seriously. I said, I don't want them to be serious. There's not going to be any seriousness needed. What are you serious about? You should be happy, it's fun. We have to be happy people. We have to be happy. Those people who think they are very guilty should punish themselves by saying, you are not guilty, you are not guilty, 108 times. That's what we have in Sahaja Yoga. It's just a myth. All these are myths. We are working with myths and making our lives miserable, which is meant to be joy, happiness, and all the overflowing blessings of the divine. Whatever I'm telling you about, we have within ourselves all the great powers hidden of our brain, of our liver, of our heart. They are to be enlightened. And then in the light, you see everything. But as in this room, you have so many lights, you have to just push in one button and the whole thing comes down. In the same way, it happens. But if I start telling you about the history of electricity in the dark and all about how it came here and what all happened, you would be just fed up with it. So, what we are doing is to tell you that let us put on the button first. You better have your light and see in that light if it is true or not. If it is true, you have to understand and accept it honestly. You have to be honest to yourself. That is the main point I'm trying to tell you. We are not to play about with ourselves and play about with our conditionings. We have to be honest and to get to our properties that are within ourselves. I'm not here to oblige you at all. There's no obligation. It's just like a catalyst, I would say. And you become the catalyst yourself once you get your realization. And you can do all that I can do. It's very easy and very simple. May God bless you all.
Let's continue to keep our attention on the top of our head. You can take your right hand, slowly move it from your lowest energy center. Move it slowly along your central channel, and you place your hand on the top of your head. This is on the last energy center. We'll do this just with our attention couple of times, and we'll settle our attention on the top of our head. Full attention on the top of our head. If thoughts are coming, let them just pass by. We will only witness them. We don't get involved in our thoughts. So just let's try to feel that silence on the top of our head. try to listen to this song from the top of our head. This is a prayer of complete surrender and of complete humility towards this light that we have felt, towards this peace that we have felt.
कैसे ध्यान धरूं, कैसे ध्यान धरूं, हे माता तेरा कैसे ध्यान धरूं, कैसे ध्यान धरूं, कैसे ध्यान धरूं, हे माँ तेरा कैसे ध्यान धरूं। पावन नाही मन ये मेरा, पावन नाही मन ये मेरा, छाया है दिन रैन अंधेरा, छाया है दिन रैन अंधेरा, क्या पहचान करूं, हे माँ कैसे ध्यान धरूं, हे माता तेरा कैसे ध्यान धरूं। मन मंदिर में ज्योत जला के, मन मंदिर में ज्योत जला के, मन मंदिर में ज्योत जला के, भक्ति भाव के फूल चढ़ा के, भक्ति भाव के फूल चढ़ा के तेरा गान करूं हे माँ, कैसे ध्यान धरूं हे माता तेरा, कैसे ध्यान धरूं। जीवन नैया आप संभालो, जीवन नैया आप संभालो, अपनी शरण से मोहे लगा लो, अपनी शरण से मोहे लगा लो। जीवन नैया आप संभालो, जीवन नैया आप संभालो, जीवन नैया जीवन नैया आप संभालो, अपनी शरण से मोहे लगा लो, अपनी शरण से मोहे लगा लो। सब बलिदान करूं हे माँ, कैसे ध्यान धरूं हे माता तेरा, कैसे ध्यान धरूं, कैसे ध्यान धरूं, कैसे ध्यान, कैसे ध्यान, कैसे ध्यान धरूं।
Let's silently meditate for another minute or two. Let's pay gentle attention to both our palms and also on the top of our head. Do we feel anything different? Any sensation on our palms? Any cool or warm breeze? Let's put gentle attention on that. We will end the meditation part of the session with a bandhan, raising our kundalini and taking the bandhan. So let's do it together. You keep your left hand down at the lowermost energy center, and you rotate your right hand around it, raising it all the way to the top of your head. We take one knot. We repeat it 2 more times. Second time we take 2 knots. Third time 3 knots. And then we'll balance our energy centers from left to right and back. So let's do it together. You can watch me if you're not sure. Now from left to right and back, we do this 7 times, 1 for each chakra. Thank you all. Handing it back to Wendy. She will let you know about the mentor program.
So beautiful, such beautiful music. Let's take a moment to just, I'm going to talk about the mentor program, but let's take a moment to put our awareness on our hands. Sometimes right after we raise our kundalini up and give a bandhan, we can feel more on our hands than before. And you might feel some cool, you might feel some warmth coming out, or tingling. A lot of times we feel tingling at the very beginning, almost like when your hands are waking up, when your arm is falling asleep and you feel that tingling. And what happens is we become more and more sensitive on our hands to these vibrations. And the vibrations help also to clear in our hands to clear. We can use these vibrations that are in our hands to clear our energy centers, which we'll learn about later. You might be feeling more cool on one hand than the other. That often means that for whatever reason, that hand is more sensitive. And you also may feel, you may not feel anything on your hands, because for some people it can take 6 or 7 weeks or even longer to be able to feel the chakras in your hands. And it is a journey, and we need to be a little patient with ourselves. So I just recommend that you be very patient with yourself. So I'm just going to speak briefly about our mentor program. It's a very fancy sounding word. Honestly, we're all peers. We're all just learning about how to have this quiet, beautiful feeling inside. But when we're first starting, it can be really helpful to have someone who's been meditating for a while be your mentor, in the sense that you meet with them outside of class. You can ask questions. You can set up however you want to set up, on a phone call or on, even better, on a Zoom. And they can help guide you a little bit about how to get quiet inside if you're struggling at all. And it's also that they're there to support you. It's like having a cheerleader. And we all need that. I think we all need that in our lives. And so it's a very loving kind of relationship. And we have a form that we're putting into the chat for you to fill out and let us know about you. Also, if you're interested in knowing about meditation classes in person in your area, this is a form you can also use for that. But what we have found, the reason why we put together this program and that there's so many people are excited to meet you and support you one-on-one, we call that, is that we found that more than anything, it helps people to really go deeper and to achieve this silence inside more quickly. So it gives some really beautiful results. So really highly recommend that you reach out to us, let us know about where you live and what you would, if you would like this mentor program. So now I'm going to go ahead and send this back to Miki for some announcements, and then we'll have our question and answer session following the announcements.
Thank you, Wendy. If I could please have the slides. Thank you. Today I hope that everybody enjoyed a wonderful session today from our presenters and from everybody involved. And we're happy to please invite you guys back on Friday, September 27th. On Friday, the meditation session will focus more on Sahaja Yoga in its particular aspect of using the natural elements to kind of grow deeper into our meditation. As you can see on the screen, water, earth, fire, ether, air. These are just basically things that we try and use to help deepen our meditation and get a deeper sense of peace and awareness as we meditate. So please join us on Friday. We would love to have you and are very excited for the continuation of the 21-day program. Just on this slide are some program resources that we wanted to make available to all of you. If you would like, please join our community in a WhatsApp group. This group would have, excuse me, daily spiritual messages and course reminders, like the course that we're taking here. Sorry, excuse me. Throughout the year. And so these kind of meditation programs happen throughout the year, and this link or this WhatsApp group would kind of be a good way to stay up to date on events like this. And if you wanted to get access to live session links or recorded sessions, handouts, etc., there is that link on the slide there that has access to all of these for the 21-day program. But if you want, you can quickly scan the QR code on the bottom right of the screen, and it'll take you to the site directly in a more convenient way. Now we're soon going to start the Q&A session, and we just wanted to discuss different ways in which you can ask questions. So you can either write to breakout room help, and with this method, you would be able to meet with a Sahaja Yoga teacher in a separate breakout room, and they would be able to help answer your questions. You can also write to the chat Q&A, and we will kind of look through the questions and try and answer them the best we can. Or you can directly message me, and I can relay your questions to the presenters, and we can answer the questions that way as well. So yes, at this point, I'd love to call back Sujata and Wendy to come, and we can start answering some questions that anybody has, or if anyone wants to share their experiences in practicing Sahaja Yoga, even just throughout this 21-day program. We would love to hear it.
Great to be back with you. Your video's sideways.
Oh, sorry, I was just looking at the Q&A. There it is. Okay, I see a question we can answer here. Okay, great. So here's a question. Why is it important for your chakras to relax and open? Can this help you go silent? Wendy, do you want to give it a shot answering that question?
Yeah, I think the reason why it's so important for the chakras to relax and open is because the Kundalini is a rope of energy, and there's many strands of it. So when your chakras open, then more of the Kundalini can come up, and you can have a deeper experience. And sometimes you actually, if the chakra is a little bit tight, which can happen because that happens, then you might even feel the Kundalini come to the chakra and pulse there a little bit. If you've ever felt anything like that, that is your Kundalini. And what she's trying to do is open that chakra a little bit more so more of the strands can come up. So it will happen naturally for you. And you don't really have to make it happen. But that's why if we nurture our chakras and we strengthen the chakras, then we're able to go more deeply silent.
Wonderful. Thank you. Thank you so much for that. Great. Let me see. Sorry, screen keeps turning sideways. Let me see, another question that we have here. Can you share an experience about what helped you strengthen your chakras and stay balanced? It's a great question, and I can ask Sujata if you'd like to answer that one.
So many experiences. I think pretty much we learn just like a child who's learning to walk, keeps falling down and then keeps trying again and gets better at it, right? Each time after the fall. So it's the same thing. We make mistakes and then, we learn from our mistakes. We introspect, we feel our vibrations. We can see that some chakra is catching, maybe in our meditations, we feel that. Then we introspect and we are able to see the whole, because now it's a more holistic, we experience that how our physical body and our mind and our mental being, everything is connected. And you know that if a certain chakra is blocked, you'll feel it on your hands, or directly you may feel it, and you realize that, okay, what aspect needs correction, and you correct it. And that's how so many experiences, like this is pretty much your whole journey is full of these experiences, so I cannot just say one or two.
Great, thank you so much. Yeah, I feel, at least for me personally, we were kind of talking about it earlier. Sometimes you don't feel the coolness or any sort of sensation right away. For me, it took 5 months to even feel anything. So once I did feel it, it helped me to kind of go back on that experience and remember what it felt like, and that helps me kind of stay strengthen the chakras in the sense that I remember what that feeling was, and I know when I get there that it is what it's supposed to be, because I did feel that peace for the first time. So it takes time, and it doesn't really have to happen right away. Or if it does, great. If it doesn't, then it just takes a little bit of time. But either way, the end result is the same. Okay, let's see. There are other questions. Sorry, so I'm not seeing anything. Um, does anyone want to share experiences about what they went through in today's program or in other programs during the 21 days? Anybody?
Yeah, I've been involved with 21 Days for 3 years now. And what the beautiful thing about it is that I've grown so much. I've been doing this since I was 21 years old. So I'm doing it a long time. And somehow being with all of you and meditating together and growing together has really helped me. It's given me a push, and I think that just shows how connected we are, and it shows that that love that we feel for each other is a great catalyst for growth. Because in the end, love is the thing that we all treasure. Love is the thing that we long for. We'll do anything for someone who loves us. We'll walk across hot coals for someone who loves us. And I think in this group, there's a lot of love and there's a lot of support. It shows up in the mentor group, and it shows up in when we meet each other in person, which happens. Just that warm feeling of the heart, which is so nice.
That's really true. I don't think I've felt a love or a collective feeling of togetherness more than I have when I'm around people in the Sahaja Yoga community. So I can definitely attest to that. And just being a part of these programs and meeting all the new people interested in meditation is always awesome. So we have a cool question, I think, from Priyanshi that says, I felt something in my right palm. What does it mean? Maybe I can try and answer this, and Wendy and Sujata, you can chime in as well. But I mean, I think it depends on, sometimes it depends on whether the sensation is cool or warm. And in the right palm, you basically, if you feel a cool sensation, then it could mean that chakras or energy centers in your subtle system are working out and you're starting to feel a sense of peace or a heightened awareness. If you feel warm, it means that the chakras are probably actively being worked out and um, need some working on, basically. But either way, if you do feel sensation in your right palm, it means that the Kundalini energy we mentioned earlier is working something out in your subtle system. So it's a positive thing, and something is working when you feel that sensation in your right palm.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes,
cool.
I will chime in a yes. I mean, the thing is that if we're feeling something, it's quite nice. When we feel things in our hands, it means this energy center in our throat is working well enough for our hands, and we're actually getting that connection to our chakras, which is very exciting, and it's worth waiting for. If sometimes actually you can feel different things also. Sometimes you can feel heaviness in the hands, and that's what foot soaking is really good for. So there's different things, and none of it's bad. Like, it's just all we're doing is watching what's going on within ourselves. It could be galloping thoughts. It could be strong feelings. The power is in the watching. So even on our fingertips, even when they say, okay, maybe I need to cool my right side channels too warm, or maybe I need to warm up my emotional channel a little bit. It's too, it's not balanced. That's all good, because that means that we're experiencing that, learning that, and able to, as our own master, able to help that come about, to help that healing come about.
Absolutely. Yes, totally agree. Um, let's see if there are more questions. Oh, okay. This is a great question. From yeah, this is a great question. So this question says, how is love detached? The teacher mentioned that in the lecture, and it was very interesting. Can you please explain more? So how can love be detached? Sujata, do you want to give it a shot?
How can love be detached? Um, it's the opposite of how it is when it is attached. uh, so detached love is, let me say what is attached love. Attached love is what we feel, towards our near and dear ones, like for our kids, or our spouse or parents or friends, and uh, we are worried about them and we want things to happen in a certain way with them, and that's that attached love which weakens us actually. uh, but the detached love is that it's a very positive feeling where you know everything is right with them, but you still feel it's that feeling of love you feel for a person that you don't even know. So sometimes you may just feel meet somebody or and you just feel that love for them, that compassion for them. That is that detached love. And as you start meditating and your heart chakra really strengthens, that's the same love you'll start feeling even towards your near and dear ones, where you really love them a lot, but it is detached. Where you are not constantly worrying about them or thinking about them, but it's that compassion that you feel for everyone. It's not any different what you feel for ones who are close to you. uh, I don't know, Wendy, you may have
Yeah,
much.
I think we confuse sometimes attachment and love.
Yes.
Love doesn't bind you. Love is free. Love is given without expecting anything back. That's real love, real unconditional love. And it's detached in the sense that it's given freely. Attachment is more like, okay, I'm getting my needs met here, and I want my pound. I want this person to do these things for me. And detached love, which is really unconditional love, isn't there's no, it's outside of your need. So you give this love from your heart freely, and with no expectation, and that is actually a much deeper bond than um, when we're attached to people. And we tend to love and be attached to people at the same time. And we do better with our relationships with our loved ones if we let them be free. We don't try to bind them. We don't try to make them meet my needs because that's not the way life is. We need to meet our own needs and then share in the love. That's my feeling, at least.
Totally agree. Thank you so much. I think we have time for maybe one more question. And I see one here. Okay. During meditation, I feel peace. I also feel as if my body is swaying from left to right during meditation in the spinal region of my chakra when I move the hand towards forehead and crown. What does it mean? I guess this
Can you
sort of
say the end of that again? So they feel they're swaying when they move their hand up like this to the top?
I'm going from the forehead up towards the top of their head.
Mhm.
Like they're swaying from left to right.
Do you want to answer that, Sujata?
They are swaying their hand from the uh,
I
The,
think
the
they feel
body.
that as the Kundalini rises, they feel as if they're swaying left to right as they move their hand above their forehead to the top of their head.
so
Actually,
body is moving, is it? Sorry about that. Is the body moving, or it is just
I
you
think
feel?
more subtle, probably more subtle. I think I don't think maybe it's physical. Yeah, I think it's a subtle thing, subtle level.
Um, I would say that we feel many different types of sensations, but our goal is mainly one is that we really need to feel the peace, that the mind has to calm, thoughts have to reduce. These are the really important things that we should feel. And of course, the breeze, we may feel heat or some catches, the state of our chakras, we may feel on our hands, which is okay. I mean, we don't get too much involved or don't look too much into these different sensations and feelings that you get. The real things that we are looking for is feeling that thoughtless state and that peace. That's what I would say.
so the one thing to know about this chakra here, and if it's about raising the awareness above this chakra is very narrow. So sometimes the Kundalini will come up and it will pulsate a bit there. Some extra strands of the Kundalini won't be able to get through and they'll sit and they're just trying to nurture it. But it can feel sometimes like a little pulsing sensation we talked about earlier. It's not something to be concerned about, because what happens is eventually the chakras really do relax and they open quite a bit. And then you won't be having that experience when you get here. And the best way to calm that down is you can give vibrations with your right hand here to the forehead. And just sit, because when you put your hand there, it helps to clear and open it a little bit. And you can also repeatedly move the vibrations up. You can do it a few times and see if it relaxes. You can experiment with it. But I think it's not something to be concerned about. It's not going to be ongoing, and it will feel, you will feel that chakra open and relax if you continue meditating.
Cool, wonderful. Thank you, Wendy and Sujata. I think that's a wonderful place to end the Q&A session for now. So if it would be possible to get just the last few slides up on the screen.
And if you'd like to go to a breakout room, you can still go now. There are people available for you. And if you want to stay and meditate a little longer, there's some music that will play for you.
I guess the slide isn't coming up, so I'll just say thank you again for coming to day 6 of our 21-day journey together. Please come back on Friday for day 7, and we hope to see you again soon and throughout the 21 days. We hope you had a wonderful time today. It was our pleasure to have you, and thank you so much. And yeah, like Wendy said, there will be music, and please ask all the questions that you want in the breakout rooms, or if you feel that you want one-on-one kind of attention, please sign up for the mentor program. We'd all be happy to assist with that. Thank you so much.